Great job, Pastor Matt. He is a wonderful speaker.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Love hearing him teach.
Does a good job. Well, we wanted to take a few minutes and just communicate some of our plans in our heart towards opening up as a church and meeting. And so, Pastor Nate?
Yeah. Well, reopening a church for weekend gatherings, I have zero experience at. I've never done it. I've started a church from scratch, which I believe was easier than reopening. But we're happy to announce that we're going to be reopening. Man, this COVID crisis, 3 months ago or 2.5 months ago, and we said, hey, we're going to close for a couple weeks. I had no idea that it would be this long. And this is not something new to our church or our community or even our nation. Worldwide, there has been this hiccup in our society, our economy, and also the places of worship and for our church and here at Compelled. But we're excited that we're going to be opening back up for our weekend gatherings. Small groups have already started, and I'm very happy about that. There's been a lot of difficult times right now. We realize that through loneliness and separation, and I believe it's time, and we believe that it seems good to us and the Holy Spirit to open on Father's Day weekend. And that is something we feel really good about. Our leadership is in unity, our board, our staff, and everybody there. And so it's time to have weekend gatherings again.
So in the midst of us deciding what we were going to do and what it was going to look like as we opened up, we have spent a lot of time in conversation and prayer as a staff and as a board, like Pastor Nate said, and we realized that there are a lot of different views on what that should look like, a different preference on maybe some of the precautions or procedures that should be in place, and our heart in waiting until Father's Day is that we would get a little more time to see these things. And so here are some of the things that we are going to make decisions on and how we're going to proceed at this point, knowing that some of these things could change depending on what happens in culture and society. And so some of those things that we plan to do to make sure that we are keeping people safe, but also having a weekend gathering that is true to who we are as Compelled churches. We've committed that the building will be obviously cleaned and sanitized through the week, but also in between each of those gatherings. We'll make sure that things are washed down and clean and sanitized so that there's no issues there. Another thing that we've decided is that we're going to have a little shorter services, one, to give some time for that cleaning so that we can make sure we can do it good, but also just to shorten up that time for us to be together and encourage each other. We've installed touchless light switches.
Don't get used to those 1 hour services.
Do you think you can do it?
I can do it. I think I can do it. The Lord will help me.
We'll see. So again, these are all suggestions, right?
They're targets.
They're targets. There you go. That's the right word.
We're going to do it. 1 hour. We'll do it.
We also have installed touchless light switches in the bathroom and towel dispensers. And so we're trying to make as much as we can a no-touch situation. I will say the timers on those switches are not long, so move quick. We also, for this beginning season at least, we are suspending, we're not going to do coffee during our gathering times. We're not going to do snacks with our kids, just to kind of keep that safe, less touches. And also our bulletins, we're not going to be passing out bulletins for this season for the first bit, and then we'll see how that goes.
I'm going to have to drink up the coffee before I get here.
That it is true. We haven't talked about BYOC.
Bring your own coffee.
Yeah, we haven't really discussed that, but maybe I shouldn't have brought it up. Another thing we're doing is, this is a really big thing, and so face masks. We are not requiring individuals to wear face masks as you come back to church, but we do recognize the preference of wearing those. And so if you feel more comfortable wearing a face mask, we want to encourage you to wear that face mask. If you don't see a need to wear one, we want to also encourage you there. And so whatever your comfort level is with those things, We want to leave it in your hands to decide that. And so if you show up with a mask or you don't, it doesn't mean you're safer or unsafer, filled with more faith or not. It's just up to you and what you feel comfortable. We want to be able to invite you back to those weekend gatherings for there. We have decided that during this initial phase of opening back up, that we are not going to offer a full-service nursery. We are going to make the nursery available for a self-serve. If you need that, you're more than welcome to use that as a family. Also, we have a new mom's room that is located in our kids area that will be available for you as well. Both of those having the sermons on TV in there so you can watch if you need to take advantage of that. We are going to be functioning with our full kids ministry. And so for children's ministry, this is what we've decided is that we have taken precautions of check-in to do those things a little bit differently, to again, be a little less touching of the screens and things. But you as a parent, we want to give you the opportunity to discern and use your wisdom on what you feel comfortable with as far as your children in kids ministry. If you feel comfortable, we'd love to have them apart. If you don't, we would also invite you to still be here and to keep your children with you in the main gathering time. Pastor Scotty and Megan have been working really hard to pull together just an opportunity for kids to be ministered to on their level in a safe environment. And so we're really, really happy about that. Also, Compelled Student Ministries will be starting back up on June 22nd, so that Monday at 7 p.m. So we want to make sure that all the youth know that. We're excited about that. Pastor Dusty's excited about that. And then this summer, something that's big for us is Vacation Bible School. Every year, that's a landmark event for us, so to speak. And so we have postponed that or moved it a little bit. And so we are really looking at August, having a VBS for the church. And that's at least what we're moving towards. And we're going to see how everything goes. But we're excited about that.
We've had VBS for 24 years.
It's a staple.
Back when we used to do it. Remember those days?
I'd say that there's some things that have gotten better. A little bit.
I wasn't going to say that.
All right.
Go ahead.
And then the final thing, which at this point we've already launched in some sort, is our small groups ministry. We believe that community together is so important. We've always believed that. It's part of our values is small groups. And so as of right now, you can jump in and get involved in some virtual small groups that are available on our website. But we are also going to be launching our normal groups and getting back to that and allowing people to come together and be discipled and encouragement and fellowship. And so those can be found on our website and the small group tab, and all the information is there for you.
Well, I really appreciate our teams, everybody that we have had that have made our online experiences. We've been doing online church for over 15 years, so that's not new to us. But we did add the Facebook premiere, and we did add the online campus with the interaction. That's all going to continue. And so let me say something. I want you to really hear my heart. We really believe that many of you may not be comfortable yet returning to a gathering. Please, if that's you, feel no impulse to have to attend. We support everyone's personal adult decision on what they feel comfortable doing, and we're going to celebrate that. And so if you're like, I don't know if I'm ready to come back in, because if you come into the gathering, somebody might sit behind you. If that makes you feel uncomfortable, man, just take a few more weeks. That's okay. Don't worry about that at all. There is no judgment. There will be nothing but support for what you feel right to do for you and your family. We want to provide a safe environment, like Pastor Rick said, but we also want to make sure that you have the choices that you need to make. And if you're not ready to come back yet, that's great. We're good with that. Keep worshiping with us online and keep connected. And I don't know if we've covered everything that you may have, but man, can I just say thanks for being patient. I know a lot of churches have opened it up already. We're not going to be the first to open, obviously, but we're not going to be the last either. So I really appreciate the support. Something that I've enjoyed every week, as you guys have been so generous. There are a lot of you that have mailed in your offering or dropped it in the slot, and you you wrote me a little note, or that we're praying for the staff and you really appreciate us. Sometimes that's just manna from heaven, and I really appreciate the encouragement. I really appreciate your generosity and your patience through, a pretty difficult time, but it looks like we're going to make it through.
One last thing we want to communicate is that when we open, our plan is to have the worship center set up as normal. And so with that, just to be aware that when you come in, the seating is not going to be distance apart. But if the worship center does fill up, we also have in place a few overflow options. And so we will kind of look at the weekend and see how that goes. And then if we need those, we'll open those up so that we can feel comfortable in those different settings and that to accommodate all those who want to show up for the weekend.
Yeah. And so just be aware as you come in to be seated, don't everyone sit on an aisle row, because some people may not want to get in. Kind of scoot toward the middle or go toward the front. And if you want to get out, leave the center without talking to somebody, sit toward the back, and when I close in prayer, you can just make your exit. I'm giving you permission to do that. That's totally fine. It's going to be a wonderful weekend to get back together on Father's Day weekend, man. It's been a tough season. I think we made it, Rick.
I think so.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to it. And again, if you're not comfortable yet, it's all good. When you are comfortable and you come back, we'll celebrate either way. And God is good. So let's keep going, and let's continue to be compelled by His love. See you soon.